YouTube, today we are bringing my boy Keep going, and today's video is going to be living with my parents slash girlfriend helped me save $80,000. Now I think he is in his mid-20s, and to have $80,000, that might not be a lot to a lot of people, but a few years ago, he didn't have that, and he structured his life, stayed consistent, and now that 80K is just, compounding. It's going to be a lot more in about 5 to 10 years. So congratulations to him. I do watch his channel a lot. Him, Recent and Cut, and AB Academy are the three channels that I watch for wisdom, finance, and like motivational content type deals. So grab whatever you need. Please go like his video and subscribe to his channel. The link will be at the top of the description. And let's go ahead and see how he was able to save $80,000.
Living with my parents and my girlfriend has helped me save $80,000. Now, I've been living with them for 25 years. If I would have taken advantage of this way sooner, I would have been well over $100,000 by now. I'm gonna go over the mistakes I made living with my parents, but then also at the end, I'm gonna go over how I actually was able to take advantage of this and what you should do if you're in this position. A, B, C, easier. 1, 2, 3. Up until the age 23, I was paying under $1,000 a month, man. I was covering my portion of the rent, my car insurance, my gas, and that's about it. The utilities were taken care of, the internet was taken care of, all the food was taken care of.
Sweet.
All I had to worry about was just helping with rent a little bit, and that's it. And I did not take advantage of this. I did not put money away. Instead, I blew my money on a bunch of personal things that I wanted to just get myself, whether it was video games, things for my car, things that I wanted to collect, going out to eat, whatever it may have been, man. I was just throwing my money at the wrong things. Now, if I would have instead really started focusing on investing the right way, and I say this because there was times during that period of time where I was investing, but I was just trying to get rich quick, or I just didn't fully commit and stay consistent.
And there's one thing that I'm going to say, being wealthy and building that generational wealth so you don't have to work and, you buy your time back and you get to, help your family get put on too. You have to let it build up slowly. Time is not on your side. The earlier that you do it, the more it'll compound over time. And I definitely do understand this. I was staying with my parents as well up until I was like 21, and I did not take advantage of that as well. I had stable income coming in. I was still doing YouTube, still making a little money on the side. I was working a little restaurant job or whatever, not making that much money, but enough to be saving and investing. It's just that I did not have the knowledge that I have now back then. Do I regret anything? No, because without those mistakes that happened in the past, I wouldn't be able to build this structure that I have now. Let's keep it going.
So I would start investing into one strategy, switch over to another, then completely sell it off because I started going unemployed. And I did go unemployed a few times during this time, man. I'm telling you, I was lazy. I did not take advantage of all the opportunities that were given to me. And I really let a lot of freaking time slip by just sitting on the sidelines. And it's crazy to think, man, like if I had the work ethic, and I did have it at moments, but if I had the work ethic and the knowledge that I have right now at age 25, back then when I was paying little to no rent and I was making decent money for the place I was living and the amount of bills that I had, I could have really got ahead, man. I could have really started to build a freaking portfolio. And back then during that time, man, those prices were freaking nice. So right now, those portfolios would be looking like so good. But
and your portfolios are still looking good. The best quote that I've heard recently, and I think it was from Avery B on AB Academy. Go subscribe to his channel. Was the best time to plant a seed for a tree was 10 years ago, and the next best time is to plant it now. So you just need to go ahead and start the thing. Don't worry about the time that has passed by. Go ahead and do it anyways because you're just wasting time.
Can't dwell on the past like that, but I just want to share that because I know a lot of people that even my age are living at home still and not taking advantage the way that they should. They're either just blowing their money on a bunch of things, which of course, enjoy life, live your life, but be prepared and get prepared and start to learn and how to invest, man. And really start to invest. Because if you're sitting there at home watching this right now and you're in that position and you're not doing the most you can with that opportunity, once that opportunity slips by and is gone, man, you're gonna be sitting thinking how I am and like, dang, I should have really taken advantage of that opportunity, man, because that is such a sweet freaking deal. And now, not all of us are fortunate enough to be able to live with our parents and have most of our bills covered. And that's just how it is sometimes, man. It sucks, but that's life. But if you are, really take advantage of it, because you could get into a position of me with kind of privilege and kind of what's the word? Like, I'm thinking of a word, kind of like not nurtured, but kind of pampered and kind of
Spoiled.
like I guess really just a place of privilege, man. Because my rent was taken care of, my bills were taken care of, I had food to eat for the
Not really
most part, right?
spoiled. No. Not spoiled. I would say privilege would probably be the right word. Um, I know what he's trying to say. I can't think of it either, brother. We both having a brain fart right now.
I took it. I didn't take advantage of that, man. Instead, I allowed myself to become dependent to that. I allowed myself to fall into those ruts and really just get lazy and not do anything, because all those things were taken care of for me. So I didn't have to worry about it. I didn't have people to take care of, really. And I hate that I freaking allowed myself to do this. And I'll touch on this in another video, man, because
And what's so crazy is your own limits and mindsets from like your parents and other people that are around you can really hurt you in the long run. And I'm not blaming my parents or grandparents for anything. They just grew up in a whole different time. So, the internet wasn't around, so they weren't able to have all these different side hustles and different ways to, accumulate more income. But I had two friends specifically. I'm not going to say their names, but they were in the stock market probably in like 2019. We used to meet up all the time at this dock area back in my hometown, and they would be talking about stocks so much. And I never, put my foot down and started investing or anything, because I thought, you know, investing was like gambling. I didn't really know much. I was too worried about the wrong thing. And I also was in college for something that I did not want to do. So I was just wasting so much time. And I'm pretty sure the ones who I was meeting up with, I'm pretty sure they have like six figures in investments just from investing early. And to be honest, I think they were about 22 or 23 around the time, and I was a few years younger. So imagine how much I could have been ahead if I would have started investing in things like Bitcoin, Dogecoin, all this kind of stuff back in like 2019 before it hit a huge surplus. Man.
The topic of this video is really talking about how living with my parents freaking set me up financially and really set me up to really be able to build and maintain stability. And that is such a freaking big blessing that, myself included, don't take advantage of, man. And we take it for granted, and then we end up regretting those actions later. Now, once 2023 came around, when I was the age 23, man, my parents stopped working pretty much. I had to take care of the bills. I had the factory job, and my rent was $2,300, man. So I went from paying $1,000 or less in bills to $2,300. I had to cover the rent, and I'll be honest, man, I felt sick to my stomach because I had just got a job, and now I was only making like $35,000 to $4,000 a month. And I felt sick, bro. I was like, no way you guys are making me pay this much money.
$2,300 for the rent. And even if you have to pay for the utilities, you still got your car payment, phone bill, all this kind of stuff that you have to pay. Boy, I would have been throwing up all over the place. But that situation, him, somewhat getting the rock bottom and not having that privilege of having his parents cover those bills, helped him to become the person he is, helped him to, build that structure and be disciplined with his money. And you can't do nothing but respect it. We all got to love the struggle, because that's where we started from. Without it, we would not be where we are now.
I was very ungrateful and appreciative, but I caught that early, man. Like, literally, I think a couple weeks into this new job, it clicked in my head. I'm like, bro, relax. You had all this opportunity, all this time to set yourself up financially, and not even that, man, but to be able to provide and show your parents that you're doing good. And I didn't do that. So I can't be mad now that I gotta cover the bills, man. Step up and get it done. And I caught on to that quick, which I'm so freaking grateful on. And I think that's part of the reason why I freaking locked in and really hustled and tried to make this work, man. Because when those bills landed on my feet, and of course, I didn't have to pay everything. I just had to pay the $2,300
Okay.
rent and my pretty much my insurance, my own gas, and my own little things. They were still covering some of the utilities and the groceries, which helped a ton, man. It helped a ton. But it really sucked. It really did suck. But what did I do, man? I didn't just sit there and complain. I didn't just freaking let it destroy me. I wanted to save and invest as much as I could, but paying so much rent, it was really hard to do.
Pain is temporary and suffering is optional. You know what I'm saying? You are in control of your own mind and your own situation. You can sit down and just take that beating if you want to, but it really takes a lot of strength and courage to get up and say, hey, I'm about to make a change for myself and for my family. Utmost respect to you, bro. You got it.
So this is what I freaking did, man. I had a car that I loved, I cherished, and like it was like one of my dream cars growing up, man. And I was so proud and happy that I got it. But I made the decision to sell that car. And this is what I freaking told myself, man. And what is crazy, like now really thinking about it, that it's coming to fruition, man. I told myself, like, this is gonna suck. I hate that I have to sell this, but I'm not in the position to be able to maintain this car and get ahead financially.
Mm.
So I pulled the trigger and I sold it, man. But I told myself, selling this car will help me hit my first $100,000. It's not gonna come quick, it's not gonna come easy. But if I sell this right now, I will make my first 100,000, and one day I will buy this car back. And that's what I freaking told myself, man. I sold that car. I gave all the money to my parents. I was like, here, this is for rent and some of the personal things that they were buying for themselves at the time, right? And that gave me a few months to be able to not worry about rent. And what I did with that money coming in from those paychecks, since rent was already taken care of, I just threw straight into an investing account, man. Straight into my Roth and straight into my freaking brokerage account and my 401k and things of that nature. Now, as soon as that money started to dry up and I knew that it was coming, and it was coming quick, because I think it was like $7,000, right? That only lasts so much in California, man. $2,300. That's only like 3 months, right?
Yeah.
So I knew it was.
Well, if I had 7 grand, imagine, bro. I have 5 roommates or 4 other roommates and 5 including me. And my rent is $650, and I'm very thankful for that. A lot of people be like, "What? Where do you stay at? You do not stay by yourself." Hey, it's cool. Having roommates is really the hack, but $7,000 in one place may have a different value in another place, and that can be with you in your own life. You might be the right package at the wrong door. Think about a bottle of water. A bottle of water at the store is probably like $1 to $3, but if you get it in the airport, it's gonna be a whole lot more money. So your value can be worth a lot more in one place than it is the other place. Also, man, just live to your expectations and your situation. Only you can judge that. Stop trying to live for Instagram, Facebook, and all these other social media platforms where people do not even know the real you. And you got the most likes, you got the littest car, the littest fit, you can't even afford it. You really in depression behind closed doors, bruh. Barely making payments meet. You just gotta, align to your situation.
Creeping up on me super quick. I told myself, I did not want to do this. I don't want to struggle. I got a second job at Amazon. So I was working at the factory, and then on the weekends, I went out and delivered for Amazon.
Well, you crazy.
And I made my money like that. And all that extra money I was making, and still the money I was making at the factory, man, most of it was going to investing in my portfolios. And I wasn't buying myself much, man. I wasn't buying new clothes. Here and there, I would buy a little something. Of course, I'm not perfect. I'm not going to say I was 100% locked in. And if you're not locked in like this, then you're not. No. Like, I was buying things from time to time. But for the most part, man, I saved and I invested. And the thing is, my groceries were still getting taken care of. The utilities, all these small little extra expenses that my parents were still covering helped a ton, man. It helped so freaking much, man. And you know what also helped? Being able to come home from work and having a cooked meal. I'm so freaking grateful and thankful that my mom was able to do that for me, man. I really freaking am. And that, you don't understand, like, the amount of help that really brings in. One, it keeps you a little healthy and it saves you some money. And that's how I was able to take advantage of living with my parents. And then eventually I met my girlfriend. And then eventually again,
Put her on.
We moved in. And then me and her started splitting some of those costs. And that, on top of it, has helped tremendously. And it still does to this day, right here where we live in Texas, man.
Navan, the #1 rated business travel platform, lets your team book work travel in one place. Flights, hotels, cars.
And all these little things stacked on top of each other helps create what has been built today. And now, I didn't take advantage of this when I was paying little to no rent, man. Instead of thinking responsibly and really getting ahead of the game, I instead chose to satisfy myself with some random BS that I wanted to buy. Now, of course, from time to time, buy yourself a little something, not arguing against that. But I could have really set myself up financially, man. And there's people, I'm telling you, man, I know people that are in a good situation, and everyone's situation is a little different. People got expenses that you might not know about, whatever the case may be, right? But there's people that are in a good position and they still don't prioritize investing or saving,
Right.
man. They live.
It's because they're living in the moment. They don't think about what could happen in the future or if shit hits the fan, because sometimes it will. You will have unexpected expenses come up. You may lose a lot of money due to, other little things on the side. But, everybody's so caught up in living in the moment and keeping up with the people around them and their environment that they aren't worried about the future at all. But the future is unpredictable and you just never know what can happen. So you should always be grateful, be humble, and always be prepared so you don't have to get ready.
In the now. They live that, I'm in my 20s, man. I'm just trying to enjoy life and this and that, which I understand, but you got to make some sacrifices and you got to also be responsible, man. Because you don't want to be 23 in charge of all the bills and really feeling the stress and pressure. Not only are you feeling behind, but once you actually try to lock in and focus on growing an investing portfolio or just savings, when you're taking care of those bills, man, it's not an easy thing to do. I did not have to ever deal with bills on my own, and that's a privilege. And to this day, I don't, man. My girlfriend and I split some of the expenses, and that's a freaking blessing, and that is so freaking cool. And that is so freaking, it's amazing, man. I love her for that. I love that she's willing and wanting to be like a partnership instead of kind of just not talking about the finances and not being on top of things like how, I don't know. I don't know how things are supposed to be, but like we have a system. It works for us, and I'm grateful that we do.
Hey,
But again, man,
it's deep.
if you're in a position where you're living at home, roommates, whatever it may be, and you can take advantage of it and you're not taking advantage of it, really, really try to start making those changes, because it can set you up financially, man. It can set you up entirely for the rest of your life. When my girlfriend moved in with me and my parents, we pretty much split the rent, but my parents would still take care of the groceries and some of the utilities. So my girlfriend and I were only splitting rent and some personal expenses that we had, right? But groceries and everything was still taken care of, man. So me and her did not have to worry about any of that stuff. And that helped both of us stack up, save, and invest, man. And all these freaking things that have been like given to me in a way, right? I don't know if that sounds weird, but like, again, man, like it's a freaking blessing. It's freaking privilege. Those things helped a lot, especially in a place like California, where rent is $2,300 a month. And not even that, man. Insurance, gas prices, all these different things, grocery prices. Being able to cut back on a lot of those expenses goes a long way when you're trying to build up a savings or investing, man. It really freaking does. I guess it's kind of my pride and my ego that says, man, I did put in some extra work and I did grind for some of the things that I have achieved. And to an extent, I believe that, right? I put in that extra work. I worked that second job. I sold my dream car to kind of be able to put myself ahead financially for a few months. But I'm not going to ignore the fact that living with my parents, my girlfriend moving in and willing to be helpful has not helped at all, man. It helped tremendously. I say that a lot of it came to that, man. Being able to not spend money on groceries and being able to split the cost of rent and some of those expenses has probably been the most beneficial thing to growing my portfolios. And that's to say that if in any way you can cut back on expenses, whether it's downgrading, whether it's getting rid of some debt, whether it's moving in with people, whether it's staying at home for an extra year or two, whatever you can do to lower those expenses, man. And again, you have to utilize this the right way. Because if you're just cutting expenses but spending it on some nonsense,
You're gonna be
it's not
behind.
really a purpose to cutting those expenses, right? But if you're cutting those expenses and you're putting that away, that will go such a long way. And it might not seem big, man, because it took, I think, man, I don't even know how long it took, but like, I need to go back and figure this out because it took so long to hit that first $10,000. It's insane how long it freaking took. It really freaking is. But then that 20 comes a little faster. Then that 30 comes a little faster. And then that 40, that 50, and then all the way.
Look, I have not even announced this at all, and I won't announce it. If you watch this video, then you will hear it. I have already had over $10,000 before in the past, but blew it on dumb shit. But I have made over that now. I just recently hit that again, and it feels so good. And it's not even just the amount of money you have, but you have a little bit of freedom if something were to happen. You have more money to invest in things, and then, like he said, the rest of it is gonna come so much faster because you made so many mistakes and you were learning yourself to get to that first 10K. That now you're gonna have that structure and system that works for you that'll get you to that 20, 30, 40, 50 a whole lot faster. I'm very excited. I love this financial journey, and this is not for everybody. And when I try to talk to some people about it, it goes over their head. But it's okay to find like-minded people and to all be on the same track. Luckily for him, his girlfriend loves finances, or she was okay with having that structured system to help, I guess, both of them reach a level of financial success. So, man, congrats, great job. I'm just gonna keep it rolling. I'm really proud, bro.
Way up to right now $80,000, and it's freaking surreal and it's insane.
Shit.
But I am so freaking grateful, and like it really just kind of opens my eyes right now because, and it like I'm kind of like stuck in a bad mindset with it because like I'm really thinking about the times that I could have taken more advantage of this and really been ahead some more. But I can't dwell on that, right? I really can't. It sucks. It is what it is. But like moving forward, man, I gotta just go about it the right way because I could have been in such a better position, but I wasn't, man. I wasn't there mentally. I wasn't there emotionally. I was not responsible. I wasn't.
It's okay.
You may be researching how to hire internationally.
I'm researching
So,
how to shut the
what is an
fuck
employer of
up.
record?
How about that?
None of that. A little thing here at the end, just to kind of touch on, man. Those bills getting covered and not having that big responsibility kind of, I'm not gonna say ruined me, but kind of allowed me to become complacent. And
Yeah, it kind of enables you because you get comfortable. Comfortability, I think that's the word or how you say it, is a very dangerous game. I guess him, seeing his parents lose the job and having to take over the bills made him uncomfortable and made him have to step up because, I mean, standing down was gonna hurt way more than just going. Both hurt, but you just have to keep going. I definitely understand where he's coming from. Me growing up as an only child, of course, I had a lot of things that were given to me, and I've also been through the struggle as well. So my mom did a great job at raising me, but we did go through some hardships sometimes. Sometimes shit did hit the fan. I understand that life was gonna life, but those situations help you become the best version of yourself, and I'm very grateful for those moments.
allowed me to fall into a rut. And this is nobody's fault but my own. Instead of taking initiative, instead of taking advantage, I took advantage of this situation and allowed myself to get lazy, to get distracted, and to not worry, thinking that things or knowing that things are getting taken care of. That is such a bad mindset and privileged mindset to have. And I don't appreciate that I did that. I really don't, man. I'm not gonna sit here and kind of like tear myself apart either, because now it's kind of dealing with my own emotions and whatever it may be, right? But I did allow myself to get comfortable, and that helped me like spiral into a bad freaking state. I managed to get out of that, and the person I am now, because of everything that I went through, is like the person that I've always wanted to be. And I'm nowhere near perfect. I'm still learning. I'm still growing, but that's part of the journey, man. But just, I don't know. I just wanted to share that because I've really been reflecting a lot and thinking a lot now that I'm getting closer to this freaking goal. And I'm excited to see where it's going to take me. And I kind of just want to recount and see what things helped me get here, what things I learned, and I want to share those with you guys. So if you're in a similar position, or you just want to hear some advice or see my story so that you can get some inspiration or some freaking ideas, whatever it may be, that's what I'm trying to do with these videos. Thank you to my parents. Thank you to my girlfriend. Thank you to anybody watching. Take care.
Yes, sir, man. Great video right here. That fuel that keeps him going is that he doesn't want to be that person anymore who got comfortable, who was just chilling when he could have been, investing a little bit more, taking his life a little bit more serious. These are the kind of videos that I like to hear every day. What you consume and what you are around is what you will become. And I love that about, the universe and the world. Everybody is different. Some people don't care about this kind of stuff. I just do. I care about my future. I don't want to go through, or I don't want to put my kids through the same shit that I've been through and them make the same mistakes that I made. All the knowledge that I have now, I wish I had back then, like he said, but the person I am now is the person that I've always wanted to be. And that's the best thing that he said in this video for sure. Well, not the best, but one of the key points in the video that stood out to me. But I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Please let me know what y'all's investment strategies are, or let me know y'all's testimony and stories that made y'all become the best version of yourselves. Any advice on investing, anything like that, let me know down below in the comment section. Please like the video, comment, and subscribe. I'm out. Peace.